Here are 5 things I wish I knew when I first got into digital art, plus a bonus at the end because we all deserve a treat. You don't need to be good at line art or basic shapes to get good results. As long as you learn to observe properly, you can get away with a lot of stuff starting out. If you really need a straight line or ideal circle or whatever, you can use your program. You don't need to be able to draw the perfect circle 10 times in a row to draw something. In fact, most of the time, you probably won't even need the shapes in the first place. Do some people benefit from starting out drawing boxes until they puke every time they get an Amazon delivery? Sure, there's a reason artists give out basic shapes advice like candy. But have you been drawing balls for the past month with little to no progress and are questioning your sanity? Maybe it's time to take a break from these nuts jokes and find a different approach to learning and improving. A ball is basically a dot without the rendering anyway, so stop stressing over it. If you approach a drawing with a 3D mindset, it'll be easier to shave down silhouettes into whatever you need. Yes, this applies to flat 2D art too. No matter your style, no matter your medium, you will use lights and shadows to shape your vision. Even in cell shading, you gotta know where to put the darker colors for the object to make physical sense. So pick a photo of whatever you fancy and instead of mindlessly trying to copy it, put the pen away and try to visualize the 3D version. Not only will this help you remember things better for the future by developing an instinctive feeling of how to draw anything, but will also teach you to properly analyze and think beyond copy-pasting. Making a blob and then molding it into the proper form with the liquify tool is easier than using a ton of guidelines you don't even know how to use in the first place. When I started out, I watched a ton of art tutorials and saved all the anatomy and proportion guidelines I could get my hands on. But guess what happened when it was time to use them? I had no idea how to transfer my ideas onto those guidelines. Why? Because things like perspective and stylization and a whole other bunch of variables will change those guidelines in all sorts of ways. Instead of guidelines, use references. Instead of counting how many eyes are in a head, zoom out and ponder whether there is any room left in your character's forehead to fit a functioning brain. Is the forehead too big? Well, Megamind was a hit, and arguably more people would rather smash him than your ex. Don't clutter your layers when you're starting out. Learn on one layer first and just don't think about it. Simplify your workflow until you're more confident in your skills. Get comfy with one partner before starting a harem, or you might end up calling Edward Jake, and that's just awkward for everyone involved. Stop overusing the undo button. Either erase or draw over a mistake. It'll not only bring the art to life, but is also just another way to get used to the process. It'll increase your learning and drawing speed and might save you from developing a nervous tic that will follow you into the real world where mistakes can't be fixed by hitting Ctrl-Z. Bonus time! Real art, real creativity comes from the mind and heart. Humans make mistakes, and that adds flair to drawings. Just as everything has a beginning, all those artists you look up to started out with a dream and a struggle to draw the perfect balls. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Everyone gets art block and brain fog and days they just don't feel like doing anything. The reason you might feel like you're lagging behind isn't because someone else is exceptionally gifted, but because they found an efficient way to learn that works for them specifically, and you simply have yet to discover one for yourself. Some tips and tricks and tutorials you find online might help you, but some might also be as useless as the 1,000 brushes you're hoarding in your art program. Did I make this video for myself? Maybe. But if I needed to hear it, then I'm probably not the only one. And again, my advice might help you, or it might not. We're different people after all. If this wasn't enough, you can check out this video where I try to explain observation skills in an unnecessarily convoluted way because I frankly forgot the correct word. Love you. Bye.